This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, January 22nd, 2012. I'm David John Sponheim, running for president for America's Third Party, also known as ATP. I would like to make a drastic prediction. This time next year, I will be president of the United States. What could possibly happen in this country that will lead to that? Just sit back and watch.
The possibility is enormous. The stock exchange could melt down. The global economy is shrinking. Anything is possible in this scenario. Our national debt is $15+ trillion. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have an $11 trillion risk, and there's a $77 trillion derivative market at risk. That's why we created hybrid capitalism to solve this.
The third party in America is just beginning. We are watching how the two parties continue to bicker back and forth, and we see the American people as centrists who simply want to unite the country, to find common solutions to all of our problems. The American people don't want to see the kind of infighting and backstabbing that's going on among the Democrats and Republicans. They want a Congress and a president that communicates. They want a transparent and open government. They want to be able to interact with their government. And right now, the American people don't have a voice in government. I will bring that voice forward. I will do everything I can to make their voice heard. And I will change my mind if 2/3 of majority of people want something to be done in this country. That's something that no other presidential candidate has ever stated. It's not flip-flopping. It's actually being attentive to the American people's needs. Now, listen to what I plan on doing for this country. We plan on building a maglev rail system, transcontinental, that will reach LA to New York in 10 hours. We plan on creating solar panel rooftops on every home in America, creating millions of jobs and having it pay back itself over time from your electric bill. And we want to create a mobile medical unit system that will help create a bypass to our existing healthcare crisis. We'd like to see caps on the cost of a hospital bed, on the cost of a doctor visit. We'd like to see those caps so that the free market can actually begin to mend its greedy ways. The debt is amassing. We continue to throw good money after bad. The Federal Reserve backs the European Central Bank, and they give out money left and right. This February, they're going to be giving out 489 billion more euros to all the countries and the companies that are ailing. These countries are going to take out another round of borrowing from the European Central Bank, and they're going to invest in international securities and try to make a few percentage points on their money to make minimum payments on their debt. No one knows how the Greek debt is going to be managed. I know that we have assets. I know that our country is going to rely on its human resources to get out of this mess. I'm relaxed because I know that our country is actually beginning to realize that the Federal Reserve is a corrupt corporation which is printing up money so rapidly it's undermining our economy. I'm very happy that many people are starting to see the light when it comes to a fair flat tax, and I want to thank those people for realizing that we need to level the playing field and get a flat tax of 10% on everything over $100,000 and a fair tax on all non-food item purchases up to $10,000. Beyond that, people can spend as much money as they want and they won't be taxed. This will encourage businesses to invest in America and will begin to heal our economic woes and problems. We also need to detach from the debts overseas. The global debt crisis is going on right now, and America doesn't need to be a part of it. You see, our reliance on the Federal Reserve to handle this affair has led to a nowhere back alley where we're now receiving the result of, and we need a third party simply to be an arbiter, to find a common way in which we can all unite and form a union again. We currently fight over issues that are so ridiculous it's absurd. But we don't fight, ironically, on issues that give corporations kickbacks and loopholes and tax deductions and credits. Apparently the Democrats and Republicans have a good deal. They get a lot of money from corporations and they get reelected because they do their bidding. The corporations get what they want, more of your tax dollars. We, Americans, get screwed. That's right, we get nothing. We don't get even a handout. The bailout money that went out went to big banks. It didn't go to the American people. If we loaned out that kind of money to the American people, everyone would have gotten thousands of dollars. They didn't get anything. And Barack Obama continues to give us one thing, and that is a lie. A lie after a lie after lie, telling us what he's gonna do and never delivering on any of his promises. Are you one of those people that still think Obama is gonna do it after 3 years? You need to wake up. Are you one of those people that think that the Republicans have a new rabbit they're gonna pull out of the hat? They're going to find another George W. Bush to lead the nation where? Into yet another war overseas? We don't need more wars. We don't need a president like Obama either, who doesn't understand how much waste is going on in our country. He's outspent Bush 3-1. And we're beginning to see a general decay in our bureaucracy and how it works, how it helps people. People aren't getting the needed services they actually want. They're getting just an EBT card with some money on it. They aren't getting a hand up, they're getting a hand out. We need to start solving these problems, and I believe an American revolution is upon us. A revolution where everyone begins to see their future get better, where people can start to live the home ownership dream and own a house outright. To begin a job that they like, not something they feel enslaved by. And begin getting out of debt, where they no longer feel like that they're a debt slave. We'll see that under my presidency. You will like this book. You'll see that we have a plan to get the government a return on investment and build enterprises, engaging a public-private partnership like no other before. Our nation will then surge ahead as a leader in environmental technologies, green, clean technologies, and we will begin to seed progress in areas of jobs, housing, and of course, healthcare. I, David John Sponheim, solemnly vow to protect this nation's future. And I'm not sitting around on my hands. I'm doing everything I can to raise awareness of what the needs of this country really are. A third party is absolutely essential to break the juggernaut hold the two-party system has over our entire nation. This nation can lead by example. We can actually improve the way we deal with the environment, make our industry more accountable for their pollution, by simply giving them new technologies that will help save them money and clean the air and water at the same time. I'm not here to make enemies, I'm here to unite the nation. And I want everyone to understand that this is exactly what this country needs right now. A president who's dedicated to that, and an open, transparent government that will be aware and listening to the American people when they come up with questions. And maybe the American people have answers. You see, the American people aren't getting a voice in government, and this will change that. And we'll begin to tell the rest of the world that we are different. We're now focusing on America's problems, not the world's problems. We're now going to deal with everything that we have neglected for years. Education that's too expensive. Healthcare that's deplorable and causing disease and staph infections that kill people. 250,000 people a year die of staph infections in hospitals. And we've got other ideas that will begin sparking new growth in the private sector. All of these ideas will be a solution to America's problems that will make us energy independent and lead by example, and the rest of the world can follow and do what they need to do to help their economies as well. I'm David John Sponheim, and I support this message.
Check us out at americasthirdparty.com.
ATP, you and me.